My name is Navigator, and in today's video I wanted to talk about emotes in Fallout 76. Now, because of the topic of this video, because it's emotes, I want to make this as brief as possible. There is a point that I'm trying to make here, but again, I know that with emotes you guys are probably going to be thinking that I'm like reaching for views or videos or whatever, but no, I'm not. I'm being dead serious, and what I plan on doing in this video is showing you what emotes I use and how I use them, and hopefully it will be able to help you communicate with players in the Wasteland a little bit easier when you trek around West Virginia. So let's get into this. What I'm going to do is just show you the emotes I use, why I use them, and then possibly some other options of things to use. So the first one I could talk about, very simple, is going to be the Valorious Alistar emote. I use this one a lot to kind of show like, hey, I'm ready for this, ready to go into battle, ready to get this started. It's really good. Like an example I can think of is a daily op. Let's say that you and your friends, or maybe not your friends, but you and other players that you can't really talk to are waiting around, and they're kind of like waiting to see who's going to go first, something like that. You know, you might do this emote, whatever, and it just kind of lets them know that you're ready to get the mission or the quest started. Pretty simple, and on top of that, it looks super cool. I feel like Conan the Barbarian when I do this. So, all right, moving on to the next one is going to be the greeting. This really, there's nothing I can really say about it, you know, of like importance. This is mostly up to your choice. I mean, there's a bunch of different ones here. Like, there's some pretty decent salutes, like very militaristic salutes. Those would be good, you know, if you're in some kind of roleplay group, Enclave or Brotherhood of Steel. There actually is a Brotherhood of Steel salute, and it's, yeah, there you go. And that works out perfectly. You know, it's really great, kind of lore friendly as well. But the one that I use the most is going to be the Flyboy emote. I love this one. It comes with the Flyboy bundle, which I honestly haven't seen in a while. But this is a greeting that I do in real life as well. You know, just kind of like a quick little salute to a friend walking by. And I don't know, I just like it a lot. I like that little jingle that comes with it as well. So, moving on, let's get into more important stuff and how you can use this stuff to communicate. So, the team up emote, there's a bunch of different ones. This is the one that I use because I just like the American flag. Kind of shows, hey, you know, this is my place, stuff like that. When, you know, people are running around my camp or something like that, I'll do that and let them know, hey, you know, this is my place and this is my camp. I am the owner. But there are a bunch of other options in here. So let's say, you know, you're on a team with somebody and you want somebody else to join. You do this emote to let them know that, you know, hop in, something like that. Maybe we can share the wealth, stuff like that. Another really good one in here is going to be the no mic emote. This is very vital, especially, you know, I mean, I've used this countless times when my mic is broken to let my friends or other people know that, you know, I can't talk, I can't really hear them, stuff like that, or if something really isn't working on my end, internet, something like that. Some of these other ones are kind of straightforward. You know, you want to cook, you want to hunt, maybe you don't use those ones too much, but this one is pretty good too, especially if you join a server and you're looking to launch nukes. If you do an emote like this, which I have in the past, honestly, people will do the same thing. They'll be like, hey, you know, that guy's trying to launch nukes, so am I, and it helps you kind of identify who's going to help you out in that endeavor. A lot of these other ones are just going to be, you know, team up, take a picture, whatever. Not super important, but again, the one that I use is going to be the, well, whatever, the American flag one right here. Pretty cool, and yeah, I'm glad I got this. And this one, I believe, is actually in the Atomic Shop permanently, so you can always get this one if you want to. Moving on to the help one, at level 400, I don't really typically need help too much, but I just kind of thought this one was really funny. I bought this in the Atomic Shop last week, just reminded me of like a Wojak for some reason, I don't know. But moving on, I don't really want to spend too much time on that because the help thing, I mean, if you're in help, hit this emote, someone's going to come. I don't really know what else to say. But coming down here into the trade one, I don't really do trading like person to person too much, so I'm not really doing this too often. But the emote that I do use very frequently in here is going to be the coin flip emote. I am somebody that does not like my character, you know, being just like standing there like this, like, you know, T-posing practically. I like my character being a little bit more dynamic. So if you guys know me, if I'm ever AFK on purpose in game, you know, waiting for people to come and buy stuff from my shop, I'll come in here, sit at a bar, still make it look like I'm actually doing something. But I like this one because when I'm in a mission like the pit or something like that where somebody's taking a while to do something and I don't really feel like moving around, I'll just hit this emote and then I'm kind of just standing there, you know, playing with this little coin, waiting for things to continue. So that's what I use that for, and I honestly use it a lot. So these next couple of ones are really not that important. I guess the PvP or the taunt one is good if you're trying to pick a fight, something like that, or, you know, oh, hey, look, I'm wanted, come and get me, something like that. But I really use this PvP one because I just like that face. That face is just so funny. I don't know. But I don't PvP that much, if at all, so I rarely use that. Coming out here to no, very straightforward. I don't even need to say anything about that. Same thing with the angry one. And over here in the confused or whatever, this is a good one. Helps people know, like, hey, I don't know what's going on, stuff like that. I see this one very, very frequently at events where it's glitched and, something isn't happening or an enemy isn't spawning. But yeah, that one's straightforward as well. You guys know what to use that one for. Follow me, though. I will say this is the most important emote in the entire game. I use this so frequently to help people, come here or go there, or let people know where I am, something like that. It's really useful when you're in a team, and really any emote is good when you're in a team because the whole team can see your little emote pop up. But, when I'm hanging out with my friends or if I'm fast traveling somewhere, stuff like that, and I'm not, talking to them verbally, it's really good just to let them know where I'm at and if I want them to, come to me or something like that along those lines. All right, moving on, because again, that one is pretty straightforward. Over here in Missile, actually, I'll talk about that one last. So, let me talk about love really quickly. The heart one is good for thanks, but I'll get to that in a second. Like if somebody gives you something, it's kind of nice just to do a little heart and show your appreciation there. That's always good. The one that I use though is going to be the camp one. I typically go to a lot of people's camps. You guys see my videos, the Let's Go Shopping stuff. If someone is there and I want them to know that I like their camp, you do an emote like this. And guys, I know that you know how these emotes work, but basically what I'm trying to do is just encourage you to use them a little bit more. People spend a lot of times in their camps. I'm sure you would like it if someone came in, even just did this little emote and walked out. It would still, it'd still say to you, hey, they liked my place. All right. Let's get to the real bread and butter here, though. There are two emotes that I want to talk about that are very, very useful. One, honestly, is useful, but this is going to be the Cultist Mothman, whatever you want to call it, emote. This is the one that I use to give thanks to, players, whatever. If I ever do a trade, something like that, I will do this emote and show, hey, I appreciate that a lot. Or if I'm just kind of messing around and, worshiping like a level 2 or something like that, I'll do this one as well. It's kind of fun. And as opposed to the sitting pose, this is an emote, or I guess a way as opposed to crouching to make your character, kind of sit or something like that, as opposed to, standing or whatever. I don't really know what I'm talking about regarding that one though, but I do use this emote for thanks. The number one emote that I want to say I recently have been using is going to be this laughing one. I'm pretty sure everybody has this emote, and it's funny, it's, oh, laughing, blah, blah, blah. But what I didn't really ever think about is that you can use it to point at stuff. If you quickly hit it and then move, your hand's going to go out and show, hey, over there. So like earlier, when I did my first recording of this, I had a low-level guy that was kind of wandering around here, and I was giving the example of, you point to something with that and people will go to it. And I literally did this. I pointed to the board, and he walked right over to it. It shows, like, I'm not laughing, especially if you're just hitting it really fast and pointing like that. It'll just help people know exactly what you're talking about. Let's say that you drop something on the ground for a low level, and they're not really understanding what's going on. You just go right there, and you just point right at it. So I really don't want to waste any more of your time. I'm sure this video is already way longer than it needs to be, but I wanted to show you guys just how to use emotes to communicate a little bit more with the players around you. Guys, we're all in this together, all right? And I'm sure all of you guys are doing your daily ops, doing your expeditions, blah, 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 doing events, whatever it may be. And I guarantee you that not every time you're doing that, you're going to be with friends in a party or a Discord call. So just keep in mind these emotes for when you're playing again. And just, it makes things easier, not just for you, but for other players in letting you know what's going on, if you're trying to help somebody out or give someone something. There you go. All right. I don't really have anything else to talk about regarding this. The last thing I want to say, is, again, I'm not doing this for, like, views or clicks or whatever. I know that emotes is kind of a stupid topic to talk about, but I genuinely have been thinking about a video to do on emotes for a while. I was thinking, like, top 10 or whatever, but honestly, that'd just be stupid. But I figured this would be a good video for maybe somebody who doesn't really use emotes too much, or, they're starting out in the game, and just keeping an eye out for some of the emotes that I might have or ones that are coming in the future, and they can get them and use them to their advantage. So there you go, folks. For the final time, I gotta stop rambling here, but that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. My name is Navigator. Have a nice day. Take care. God, that was so bad.